Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here, and today we'll be taking a look at Warframe. This is a free-to-play third-person shooter that was developed by Digital Extremes, the same team that brought you Dark Sector, as well as The Darkness 2. And yeah, we're starting off here in some crazy shenanigans. I figured that'd be the most exciting way to begin a video for a game you may have never heard of. Alright, let's go back here. Oh my gosh, I'm getting shot too much. Alright, so this is Warframe, once again a third-person cooperative shooter. I guess that's the one thing I forgot to say. This is a PvE game. It's focused on either playing by yourself or with friends. You can play with up to 3 other people, so teams of 4. And you basically what you do in this game is you make your way through these various ships, trying to complete objectives. Now, the particular objective on this mission is for me to eliminate all the targets. You can see the enemies numbered at number 47 right now, and every time I drop one, that will reduce the number, of course, logically. Now, sometimes you'll be tasked with destroying a particular target, or eliminating a particular enemy, or even sometimes trying to be sneaky. There's all sorts of different objectives, but the basics of the game is, yes, you're dumped onto these ships, which actually one of my gripes with this title, which we'll get to later, is the repetitiveness, because there's a lot of reused areas as you progress through the game, but I don't want to focus on that right now. I want to focus on just the gameplay itself and talking about some of the positives, because there's some really cool things about this game. Number one, it's free to play. This is a free-to-play game, and the gameplay itself, like the shooting and the action, is actually a lot of fun. So to have a really solid experience on a free title, well, that's pretty darn awesome, I have to say. Now, since this is a first 40 video, we'll be looking at 40 minutes of gameplay. And yeah, let's just hop right into it. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually just looking around. I do have that little ping on my mini-map, which is telling me to go over there. But I'm just looking around to see if there's any extra things lying around. You can find yourself credits and stuff like that, ammunition, health, energy, all that sort of stuff. In fact, speaking of health and energy, why don't we talk about the interface before we progress any further? So upper left-hand corner, we've got our mini-map. It also tells my objective, currently 43 enemies to kill. Upper right-hand corner, you've got a little information about myself. So there's that little avatar, which basically displays my character. Then that blue number is my energy, it's an overshield, and the red number is my health. Now, health does not regenerate by itself, but your shield does. So if you lose health, you have to pick up these health globes in order to replenish it. The shield will replenish by itself. That number 1 and 2, those are my 2 abilities. I've got a slash dash as well as a radio blind. I'll show you both of those here. Now, what you can do to activate those is you can scroll with the mouse wheel and then hit middle mouse button to activate them, or you can just hit 1 and 2, which I typically do. So my number 1 is this forward dash. It basically destroys anything it passes through. And the number 2 is this little blind that blinds targets around me. Now, doing that uses up energy, and I'm sorry for confusing those terms. So energy does not replenish. Energy is used for your abilities. Your shield is what replenishes. I apologize for mixing those up. That green bar right there, which is going down, that's basically your stamina. That determines your ability to jump and sprint. And I'm not sure if it actually is. It used up with dodging? No, it's not, which it probably should be, but it isn't. So yeah, it determines your ability to sprint and jump, basically. Alright, so let's continue here. That is basically the interface. The only one thing I didn't mention is the lower right-hand corner is your weapon and ammunition. Alright, so let's open this door there. Activate things with X. And we got some enemies back here. So I've been primarily playing this game by myself just to basically get an idea of what it's all about. But again, this is a co-op focused game. You can play with up to 3 other people. So fun for all, fun for you and your friends. No competitive aspect to the title. It is completely PvE or co-op focused. I don't know if that's something that'll change in the future. Not that I'm saying this game needs a multiplayer, but just saying, it doesn't exist. It's just sort of it's basically just sort of a PvE grind. That's all it really is. Alright, so we're gonna open up these doors and try to see. Look over here for any, again, looking for any sort of weapon caches, if you will. Now you notice damage indicators, oh, they locked the door. So this will happen periodically as you make your way through the various ships in this game. You'll go into a lockdown, which will require you to move over to this. I guess I'll call it a mini game. It's really simple. It's just basically lining up these little slots here, which I've never seen one even remotely difficult. You basically just do that. You rotate them until they're all in line. So, anyways, like I was saying, if you'll notice those damage indicators. Damage is dependent on where you target. So if you do get headshots, you do get more damage. We'll see if I can show you. So you got 5, 5, 5. But when I hit the head, you're going to notice. See, notice there's 5, 5, 5. But when you get a headshot, it's like 15, or you can crit as well. All sorts of different. But yeah, headshots do count for more. Of course, you expect that in a shooter, right? Yeah, so it's nothing special. Why'd you even mention it, Force? I don't know. Just wanted to point it out to you guys. That's all. No reason to get upset. Okay, let's see if there's any. Okay, so right here, like these little storage lockers, the green ones will be available for opening, which is done so by hitting X. And then sometimes there'll be these little like storage containers, which are like that as well. Come on, there you go. That's a nice headshot there. So I've got 2 weapons equipped. There's this whole loadout system. There's a level and progression system as well. As you level up, you get access to new abilities. So like I showed you, I've got 2 abilities right now. You can get access to more. You can also unlock. You get like mods, which will increase your character's speed or something. All right, so we're gonna use our melee attack with E here, just to show you that. That's a thing. And if you're wondering what that little radio blast, that orange radio blast around me, whenever something occurs, like you level up a weapon, your character levels up, or you pick up an artifact, which is basically a mod, you'll get that little indicator to tell you something, basically something important has happened. Okay, so the shooting in this gameplay, let's start off with talking about that. The shooting feels good, it feels great. This reminds me a lot, actually, of playing Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. Like, when I play this in co-op, it reminds me a lot of that, you know? You had that whole horde mode, which this isn't a horde mode per se, as there's not multiple waves of enemies, but you're facing, like, one enemy type per level. And so there are different... We'll call them factions. They're different factions. Right now, I'm facing this particular faction, which is, I think, they're Grenier or something. Yeah, they're called their Grenier. And in other parts of this game, as you make your way through it, there's like there's a faction that sort of reminds me of the Flood, which will actually, so long as we have the time, I'll try to make sure we take a look at after this one. All right, so we got a few enemies down here. Pretty much easy pickings here. Not much of a problem. Just so you're aware, too, I don't want any trickiness going on here. I am playing an earlier level for the sake of showing you guys this game from the early stage, and I am a little bit higher level. So me taking down these targets is a little bit easier. It's not significantly easier. I've basically just, you know, I've got like 3% more damage or something. I'm slightly more effective than you would be normally coming into this part when you first start the game. But again, not overwhelmingly so, but it's definitely easier than it would be straight out the gate, basically. All right, so we're just gonna go over here again, looking for all these storage lockers and stuff. All those ones are locked. There's nothing else here for me to grab. And I haven't found any of those storage towers yet. But anyways, let's get back to chatting about the game. So the gunplay feels good. Like I said, it sort of reminds me of a Mass Effect. There's no cover system, unfortunately. That'd be nice, but you know, I guess it's a free-to-play game, so it's one of those things. And I always feel weird judging free-to-play games, not because I don't think they shouldn't be judged, but because they're free. It's like, well, damn, you know, this game's free. But with that said, I do at least want to put it on the level of other free-to-play games, and I would say this is as good, if not better, than the shooting that I've seen in any other free-to-play third-person shooter that I've played. And it is comparable with paid titles as well. Again, my immediate comparison was to Mass Effect 3. Like, the shooting feels comparable to that. It feels quick and responsive, and you do what your character wants to. That's a very important thing in video games. Some video games don't manage to get that right. They do that here. I can do what I want to. Alright, so we got some more guys that are going to be coming here. Here we go. Oh boy. And And they did lock this. So there's a crouch. You know, you can sneak around, you can sort of play stealthy. That only lasts for so long. As soon as you get spotted, they run in, trigger an alarm, and then it's basically over. But there are stealthy classes, and that's something else I'll try to show you towards the end of this video. They're just called Warframes. You know, this game is called Warframe, and the classes, the different Warframes essentially act as different classes. They've got access to different abilities and different skill trees. Alright, so that guy just dropped an artifact. What you'll see is once I go to pick it up, see that little orange radial again that I mentioned prior. And the level has been locked, this little section, so we're gonna have to go and do again one of these little mini game things here. And that will just require a simple spinning around of these before the timer. There you go. If you also notice that little thing that said use chipper at the bottom, that is an instant hack, and that's part of the free-to-play aspect of this game. Of course, with any free-to-play game, you expect an item store, and you can buy things to hack those instantly. You can buy weapons, you can actually buy a larger skill tree. Now that might infuriate people initially upon hearing it, but you do have to keep in mind, this is not a competitive game. It's cooperative. You play this with people, not against them. So the fact that you can purchase a larger skill tree and have access to more skills, while that might be a huge problem, and that's one of those little towers, that storage towers I was talking about, supposedly containers. While that may be a huge problem in a competitive game, I don't see that as a problem in a cooperative game because you're playing with people, not against them. So. Sort of the same argument like with the Diablo 3 auction house. Like, until they implement PvP, which they haven't yet, the fact that you can buy gear, it's not such a big deal when you're playing with people. You're not really playing against people. The only thing it'd be a big deal for is the people who really care about leaderboards. You know, if you want to top the leaderboard, because there are some leaderboards in this game to tell like who the top players are, how well they've done in missions, stuff like that. If you're someone who cares about that, then you might be frustrated about the store if you're not willing to spend in it, right? But I don't know what to say. It is definitely the case, and I will show you, it is definitely the case that you can purchase things that you can't get with in-game currency. Like, there's stuff that's only purchasable through real money. But again, it's a co-op game, so is it really a big deal? For me, no, because I don't care about leaderboards so much. I just care about having fun with my friends when I play a game, and this game definitely seems like it'll be a lot of fun with friends. I've enjoyed the co-op that I played so far, which was very little, admittedly, but I have played some co-op. I've been primarily playing alone, and that's been a really fun experience as well, so. Okay, I got pretty low ammunition on my rifle, so I'm just going to be using my pistol for a bit until I get some more rifle ammo. And yes, I see him, I'm just sort of ignoring him for now. Okay, let's go up to him and get some headshots here, some increased damage, and finish him off with a melee attack. You gotta love it. Alright, let's go ahead and sprint across here. Definitely don't want to be in the open. Okay, guys on both sides. And we're gonna wrap around here and take these guys out. Now, sometimes when you've got missions that are like, eliminate a specific target, you can just bypass like, you don't have to kill everything basically unless it's required. Now in this particular uh-oh, chainsaw guy, you'll hear them buzzing around the corner basically when they're coming. But yeah, in this particular mission, it is absolutely required. Like, that is the goal, is to kill everything. So, and I only have 3 more everythings left, so I'm gonna actually pull out my assault rifle to finish this off here. And we're gonna melee him to death. I'm gonna open that up. I hear buzzsaw brains coming. There he is. Fantastic. And we just got one more. Finish him off with a special. There you go. And then we go to extraction. So we've completed our objective. Now, once again, the objective will change depending on the mission. And then you complete the objective on the ship and you go to the extraction point. Now, I want you to have paid attention. I love how I say this now. I want you to have paid attention to the layout of the different rooms. If you didn't, maybe rewatch it or something. But if you're paying attention to the layout of the different rooms, we're going to next go to a completely different mission in a completely different sector of the universe, which you could call like chapters, sort of. They're divvied up into various sections. They're basically different planets that you go to, and you board these ships around these planets. But after playing the game for about 3 hours, I've noticed a significant amount of reusing areas. A significant amount. And I just want you to see that and be aware of it. That would probably be my one major complaint about this game. Alright, so we finish up here. You get to see what you leveled up. I leveled up my character a bit. I leveled up a couple of my weapons. It's all based on use, basically. The weapons you use the most, you're going to get the most XP for, and you'll level up the most. Now, before we hop into the next mission, we're going to go into the menu here so I can show you some of the things we were talking about before. So there we go, mission's complete. We get some rewards there. Here's a little bit of a log, which evidently is telling me absolutely nothing. Okay, so we have finished that. Now, that was a look at Terminus, which is the very first one you'll go to in this game. And you go from there to here, to here, to here, and it's sort of the same thing. You're boarding these ships, but there's different objectives. That one's to sabotage, that one's raid, that one's spy, that one's exterminate, this one's assassinate. So it's sort of like destroy a target, kill a target, sabotage a ship, stuff like that. And then as you make your way through the... So we'll actually go back here. So this is the overview of the game map and the different chapters, if you will. You start off on this one little planet, Mercury. You start off in the first mission that we just took a look at, and then you go from there to here, to here, to here, to here, and you eventually unlock the other planets. So there's Saturn and Venus. Now I could just click on them in this overview map. I could click on Venus there. I could click on Saturn, and that's going to bring you to the next spot. Or you could just go do the menu like this. So there we go. That's the first place you'd go through, and then you go to Saturn or Venus. Now Saturn is another planet that is a Grineer planet. However, this one, Venus, this is a planet that is infected by the, what is this? The enemies are called the Infestation. So sort of like the Flood from, it immediately reminds me of the Flood from, you know, Halo, of course. So there you go. That is the world map, and like I said, it works exactly like you do. You start off there on a ship, you go to a ship here, go to a ship here. None of this I've experienced in 3 hours of playtime. I've experienced no outside levels. They have all been inside ships, exactly like you saw that first level was. Okay, so before we hop into another thing, I just want to show you a couple of stuff about this game. You've got some basic information about your character. I've quit 4 missions. That's why it says 3 mission fails. Basically, what will happen is I was getting ready to play this game, and I was testing audio and stuff like that. So I was like going into a game, quitting. Not that it matters at all, but you can see my playtime about 3 hours and stuff like that. Just a basic information and stats about yourself. And going back here, gonna go into the arsenal. So we've leveled some stuff up. So you can see I am playing as the Excalibur Warframe, and there are a whole bunch of different Warframes. Now these are basically different classes. They've got access to various abilities, and there's like a little synopsis of each of them as well. They do cost this currency, which is real world currency. I don't know why I have 50. I'm assuming because it's a closed beta, they just gave everyone a little bit. Maybe that's wrong, but I've got 50 of the real world currency, 15,000 of the in-game currency. Now you can see to purchase these other classes, it appears that I can only do it with real world currency, not in-game currency. So that's kind of annoying, but that's the case here. It's a free-to-play game, you know, what do you expect? It's not like you can't just play with the free character that I started out with. Oh, also, I have to mention this. I selected the character that I did. You've got access to, I think, 4 of these. I believe it's Excalibur, Volt, Loki, and Ash. I think those are the 4 that you have innate access to. Or maybe, I don't know, it's something like that. But you've got access to, it's either 3 or 4 different ones, and you get to pick which one you want after you play the game's tutorial. So even though I picked Excalibur, I could have picked Volt or Loki, for example. Just so you guys know, when you start the game, that's the case. All right, so those are the Warframes or the classes. And then with my particular Warframe, Excalibur, I've got access to these abilities. Now, so far, I've only unlocked Slash Dash and Radio Blind. I also have access to Super Jump as well as a Radial Javelin. The gears, there's a little bit of customization where you can go to look for skins. There's also a marketplace where you can purchase additional skins. You can also customize your color layout, look the way you want in terms of the color. And then here, this is where I've leveled up my Warframe, so I get to progress a little bit further down this tree. Now, like I said, you can purchase a larger skill tree. If I mouse over upgrade to pro, notice the skill tree gets larger. So were I to upgrade to a pro account, which basically means like purchase something, I would have access to a much larger skill tree. I mean, it's I don't know, it's close to twice as much skills, you know? So obviously there's a significant advantage to that. But again, it's a co-op game. So if you don't have this, whatever, you're just playing with people. I don't think it's the end of the world in this particular scenario at all. Were this a PvP game, this would be a huge advantage, and whoever paid would basically win. But again, you're playing with people, so to me, it's not as big of a deal. But anyways, I've got 1 point to spend, and I could go to the radio blind boost. I could go to /dash. I'm going to go do /dash boost. That's the one that I use the most anyways. So we're going to put our point there. I'm going to click apply, and there you go. Now the artifacts that I picked up, they will show up as mods. So I've got 2 Warframe mods here. So what's going to happen is once you unlock a mod slot, you can put the mods into that spot. And they're going to do things like increased sprint speed, increased armor, and I think I have one right now. Yeah, I've got one right now that gives me 12% more shield capacity. And there are mods not only for your Warframe, but also for your weapons as well. So let me show you that here. I've leveled up this weapon right here, so we're going to go there. And I've got another point to spend. Now I'm all the way over here, damage. So I could do a mod slot, so let's do that. We're going to purchase this mod slot, and then we're going to take this mod that we found in the form of an artifact and add electric damage to this weapon. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and apply. And this is going to cost me 200 of the in-game currency as well, which is fine by me. And then we've got this weapon right here. And we have leveled that up as well, so we've got a point to increase. I could go for rate or reload. Let me go for rate. And again, you can see I've got a couple mods, 25% critical damage, 5% freeze damage. In there, I've got 6% more ammo. Geez, I kind of want to 25%, 5% freeze damage. Let me add that to the weapon. So is that going to swap that out, basically? I don't even know. Yeah, it looks like it's just going to swap it out. So it appears like I don't lose the other mod. Let me just confirm that, though. Yeah, I did not lose the other mod. And I have freeze damage on there now. Okay, cool. And I don't think I leveled up this. No, I did not. Then there's no point to spend. But it's the same thing. And again, if you mouse over upgrade to pro, you're going to see a much larger skill tree, not only for your character, but for those weapons. And weapons, you can purchase additional weapons. Some of them here. It looks like all of these can be purchased with real money or in-game currency. So there's different weapons available here. I'm going to stick with what I have for now, but just so you know, these things do exist. I don't know what the XP locked means. I think it might mean you have to be a certain level to get it. Okay, so yeah, I can't get it because I'm not high enough level, basically. I don't know why it says I'm level 1. I'm level 6 or something. I'm not sure. My Warframe's level 6, but my character's level 1. Oh, my Warframe's level 7, but my account's level 1, I guess. I don't even know what that means. But yeah, you can purchase different weapons with in-game currency or real-world money. All right, well, I think that's basically everything. That is a look at the arsenal. There's also a contacts list, which are your friends. There's a marketplace where you can purchase, there's various bundles available. You can purchase the Warframes. You can purchase weapons. You can purchase equipment. Okay, the one thing I didn't show you. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. All right, so the one thing I didn't show you is the little gear spot. So you can buy gear. Let me go to my inventory here to use within the game that will do things like restore your health and things of that nature. So let me see. Let's see. So I've got this large health pack right now. These are all the items that I'm currently sitting on in my inventory. But you can purchase things to use inside. So if I go to, let me go here. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Go to that is my gear. Okay, so there we go. So we click on the gear there, and you can purchase large health packs to heal yourself. You can purchase team heals. You can purchase shield restore. You can purchase small health packs. And there is that the little cipher thing, which allows you to quickly unlock one of those little mini games for lock to doors and stuff like that. So that's I think the one last thing. And now with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into another mission. Okay, please exit this, for the love of God. There we go. All right, so we are going to go on Venus. just to take a look at a different enemy type, which is the infestation. And we're going to go on a brand new ship here, and we just click on that. And it's going to bring us right in. Just a quick little loading screen, and then we will be good to go. All right, so here we go. Faction infestation. The mission type is spy. Now again, what you'll notice, if you can't tell immediately, a lot of reused areas. Now, the layout is absolutely not the same every single time, but these different room chunks, these different room types are basically placed together, but you'll notice the reusing of those room types. Like, that is 100% the case. And especially, like I said, after playing it for a few hours, it becomes blatantly obvious. Now they mix things up in a few ways. Against this particular enemy type, the infestation, you notice like all this junk everywhere, right? But this room is like a carbon copy of a room type that's on pretty much every other ship that you're going to play in this game. They've just changed it by placing these little, these little infestation stuff on top of it. And some of the rooms, instead of like this fungus, you'll get fire, like the ship's on fire or something. Or you'll get, these guys are freaky. Oh my lord, I'm trapped in a corner. For some of the rooms, jeez, crow, you'll get ice. Like, there'll be a fire thing, there'll be an ice thing. So there's all sorts of, there's like different themes that they bring to it, different color hues depending on, they'll tint everything a little bit blue if you're on like an ice-infested ship or whatever. I don't know if infested's the proper wordage, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. The room structurally will be exactly the same, just with something tossed on top of them, essentially. Which is pretty much my only complaint about this game, because like I mentioned, the gameplay itself, it's a heck of a lot of fun, and if you get a couple friends in the beta, or when the game officially comes out, again, it is free to play, like this will be a really, really fun, free experience. And if you feel like chipping in a few bucks to get a larger skill tree, or to purchase some extra items or whatever, or to get yourself a really cool class that you don't have access to otherwise, well, you can do that, but you don't have to. And you can play this game and enjoy it just as much without spending a dime. And that's why I'm really in support of this title, because although it has its repetitiveness because of the reused ship areas, it's free, man. It's a free experience. I mean, that's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic, so. I don't know, these guys are gonna be charging me from somewhere. Here's a great example of where playing with people would be far superior. And I'm just gonna keep dodging these guys. Are you gonna blow up? But you guys don't? Only some of you guys blow up, huh? That's fair. So there's chargers. Okay, so there's chargers and then there's other guys. I gotta figure out the name of the blow up guys so that I'm gonna know. Alright, so I just picked up an artifact, which is a melee mod. So that will be a mod for my melee weapon. Pretty simple, pretty basic stuff. Something else I haven't touched on yet, which you guys have obviously taken note of as we've played, the visuals. This game looks beautiful. This is a nice looking game. It's a free game, my lord. And it looks this good. I mean, it's pretty awesome, it really is. Yeah, it's definitely a really, really nice looking game. I'm gonna start following my objective though. So my objective here is to collect these data terminals. I'm gonna find 2 of them and then take them off the ship. So we're gonna go here. Oh god, get out. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna go here and we're gonna hack this data terminal. And that will gain us access to this, which we then pick up. Now when I'm holding this, I can only equip my pistol, which is gonna be much more difficult against these guys than it was against the Greniers, because the Greniers, they don't charge at you as much. So I do have to be worried about those charging infestors. Now I can switch weapons with F to drop this and go back to my assault, which is probably what I'm gonna have to do. I'll try some pistol play against these guys though. I would be lying though if I said I wasn't concerned. Oh my lord. It looks like their kneecap is the target here. That's interesting. Yeah, that's a good target right there. Fantastic. All right, but yeah, the game looks great. The game plays great. It's definitely a lot of fun. The repetitiveness of the overworld, I could see getting to people. It started to get to me. You know, after a few hours, I was just like, all right, I'd like a new environment. And while putting a different hue and adding ice or adding fire or adding infestation to the rooms definitely changes it somewhat, I don't think it changes it enough. And I don't know, this game's so cool, I really wish that there was more to it. But again, it's free. It's a free game, so who knows? It could be one of those things where over time they might add a lot more variation to the game. The one thing that they definitely do well, though, is that they mix up the way the rooms are placed together such a significant amount that unless you're playing consistently and you're looking for it, you might not even notice they're reusing. But I'm gonna stop talking about that for now because I don't wanna harp on that because I don't think this game. Obviously, you should be willing to critique everything and be fair and honest about it. But I do think that this game overall should be seen in a positive light because it's really cool. It is really cool, really fun, and it's free. That's a lot of fantastic for a game like this. So, all right, let me take out these guys. Run and gun, run and gun. Jump, idiot. And I'm going to continue to make my way across. Although they're charging, looks like they can't charge faster than I can non-sprint, so. These are some slow chargers. Oh. Dash through them like that. There we go. Piece of cake. Alright, so we're gonna wrap around here. We have picked up all the data terminals. Looks like I just bring it to a specific location. Found a melee mod artifact. And why don't we, oh, there's a lot of guys here. We're gonna charge right through them all. Just like that. And another artifact. Shotgun mod. Although I don't have any shotguns. So there is that. Alright, we're gonna keep on trucking here. I think we'll be able to finish this. These guys are still running after me, huh? I wonder if I could just bypass all these guys. I feel like I might be able to. Oh, door's locked. Alright, so let me, here we go. Ready? Charge through. Oh, missed one. Alright. You know, I guess the one thing I definitely missed by doing all that running around is, I missed picking up stuff. Like opening lockers and things of that nature. Alright, so I gotta head down over here now. We are locked out of that next area. So here's a great example. If you remember in that first level, this 3 corridor section. Like this was at the end of the first level. And this is, again, the exact same, structurally it's exactly the same. It's just put in a different tone, the lighting's a little bit different, and of course we've got all that infestation stuff. Perfect example how this sort of works here. Alright, so I gotta, oh good lord. Of course I'm walking back through all these guys here. Where are you telling me to go? I don't get it. Well, this is a bit frustrating. Where's this? go check around here. Is this what I need? Okay, there we go. Alright, so I needed to take the key pass to unlock those doors that locked back there, as opposed to normally when you have the ability to just, like, hack a terminal. You know, this one I needed to find a key pass. Yeah, there you go. Alright guys, well I think we're going to be wrapping up this first 40 look at Warframe. Once again, some closing initial thoughts on this game. I have far from finished playing through it, but in the 3 hours I've played, while structurally a lot of the rooms are repeated and you're just constantly going through corridors within ships, it's still a lot of fun. The shooting is a lot of fun. The game looks absolutely beautiful. I have the key pass. Thank you. The game looks absolutely beautiful. And it's just a lot of fun. And you know, if you get together with a couple of friends, I could see this being a great experience. No doubt. Like, I could see this being an absolutely fantastic experience for you and 3 other buddies. I know I've had a lot of fun just playing it single player, like solo by myself, so. Alright. Open this and charge through those guys. Bust some kneecaps. And we wrap up this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this first 40 look at Warframe, the free-to-play third-person cooperative shooter being developed by Digital Extremes. The game is currently in the closed beta. I will provide a link to the official website where you can register for said beta. That's going to be in the description below. And I've heard it's not too difficult to get in, so I would definitely suggest trying to do so. And I'm sure there's going to be tons of giveaways and stuff like that. I know there's a few websites doing giveaways. I think MMO Champion or something like MMO Bomb. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Some MMO site was giving away some beta keys, and I'm sure that Digital Extremes is going to do more giveaways as time goes on, and I would imagine eventually they go into open beta until they eventually release as the free-to-play game. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno. Steal the Orokin artifact located in the storage bay of this transport ship. You're still in the clear. No detection from ship's sensors.